This is CJ Baker. This is an epic soundtrack to a mundane existence. So recently, I changed the name of my YouTube channel. It was previously an ongoing history of protest music, and it was the companion YouTube channel to my website, ongoing history of protestsongs.com. But I changed the name of the YouTube channel to have a broader scope. But I recently came across, actually, recently, it's basically just in the past few minutes, I came across the list of the 100 best protest songs of all time, according to Rolling Stone. So I figured because I still have the website dedicated to protest music, and because this is an area where I still have a lot of interest, I thought it was appropriate. I would do a live response video. So just a note, I haven't looked at this yet. So my responses are going to be 100% organic. So we got The Fight Goes On, the 100 best protest songs of all time. So it does give some hints of what would be on the list. So it says from Pete Seeger and Billie Holiday to Beyonce and Rage Against the Machine, musicians across all genres have spoken truth to power through their songs. So yeah, there's a number of Pete Seeger songs that can be on it. Billie Holiday, I think Strange Fruit has to be on it. And I think it has to be a strong contender as number one. Beyonce, maybe Formations, Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name, I think has to be on there somewhere. So, and yeah, and there's a picture like Marvin Gaye, What's Going On would definitely have to be on there. There potentially could be a couple of Public Enemy songs that I'm suspecting Fight the Power has to be a contender for number one. So we'll now get into the list. We'll scroll down. So let's see. Yeah, so we got number 100. Okay, I wasn't a second to guess the song, but yeah, we got Bonzo Goes to Washington, 5 minutes, bomb and mix. So yeah, I'm not overly familiar with this tune, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. But yeah, this is a protest song in connection with Ronald Reagan. It looks like it involves Talking Heads guitarist Jerry Harrison and P-Funk bassist Bootsy Collin. So yeah, we'll scroll down. So 99. I don't want to butcher the name there, but we got Mexican Chef. So yeah, this would be Latino music. So it's good to see that there's representation of different genres and even like from different cultural backgrounds. And we got 98. Yeah, this is a great song. Heaven 17, we don't need this fastest groups thing. And LCD Sound System did a really good cover of the song as well. And there's a number of songs in the 80s that were all basically anti-Reagan, anti-Thatcher, and they dealt with the threat of like nuclear annihilation and the Cold War. So sometimes people overlook the 80s as basically a fertile period of protest music. So let's go to 97. Yeah, it looks like Midnight Oil Beds Are Burning. Yeah, I think you have to have at least one Midnight Oil song, and this is the most well-known tune. But just about every song they did is a protest song. They dealt a lot with Aboriginal rights and a lot with environmental issues, which is definitely what Beds Are Burning deals with. So yeah, it's a great song. No problem with it being on the list. So 96, McLean Dixon, Run, Run, Run. This is actually an excellent song. I do really like the song, and I really like McKinley Dixon. I'm surprised to see it on the list because one, it has a lower profile than a lot of the songs that are probably going to be on the list. And it is a bit recent. I think anytime you do all-time lists, it's a bit tricky to know where to rank current tunes because they haven't necessarily had an opportunity to establish their legacy. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure I'd put this on the top 100. Um, but yeah, it's an excellent song, and I love the album that it came off of. So we got 95, The Byrds, Deportee, Plane Wreck at Los Gatos. And there's a number of renditions of this song, and it's a song that basically it's based on lyrics written by Woody Guthrie. And I think someone else composed the music to it because it was originally a poem. But yeah, it's a powerful song about a plane crash that, let me get the details here. Yeah, it's 1948 plane crash that killed 28 migrant farm workers. So it's a powerful tune. Like I said, there's a number of different versions of the song that could have made it. 1994, Molotov, Give Me the Power. So yeah, this is I believe this is Spanish too. Yeah, so it looks like this is a Mexican band, I believe. Not really familiar with the tune, so I'll move on. Okay, Team Trash. I'm illegal. I do like Team Trash. I think this is a different album than the one I'm really into. I'm trying to name that album. I think the album came out like in 95. But yeah, I like a lot of the stuff. They're an important right or band. Not sure if I put it on the top 100, but like I said, it's good to see Riot Girl representation because this was an important protest movement in the 90s. And basically, this is important, like queercore band. Let's see what we got. Yeah, Annie DeFranco. Yeah, I like Annie DeFranco. My favorite protest to buy her is like an anti-gun violence tune that she does. I think it's called With Teeth. Um, but yeah, she has a lot of songs that deal with different social issues. Like a lot of them deal with all like pro-choice tunes. This one. Yeah, it looks like this one deals with different issues like death penalty, pop music, presidential elections, marketing campaigns. I think I've heard this song before, but it's not, to me, it's not the first Danny DeFranco song I think of. 1991, Bright Eyes, When the President Talks to God. Yeah, it's an excellent song, and anti-George Bush too. So this is probably one of the better protest songs that came from the 2000s. And I actually have done a video on the top 10 protest songs of the 2000s, and I believe that was on my list in the video. So yeah, no issues with this song. Number 90, Barry McGuire, Eva Destruction. Yeah, classic song. I also made a video on my list of the top 10 protest songs of the 60s, and it made that list. So it's definitely a timeless song that deserves to be on the list. So let's see, 89, Crash, Do They Owe Us a Living? And yeah, Crash is a very definitive arachno punk band. So I think, yeah, it's appropriate that they have at least one song on the list. Even though I think they're more important because their entire body of work and they're important because of their activism. But yeah, it's good that they at least get some acknowledgement. So let's see. Yeah, so a lot of different artists here, and this is it's like a Spanish protest tune. Not really familiar with it, so I'm gonna move on. But if they are doing like foreign music, I wonder if they're gonna put Victor Jara on here. Like he's a very important Chilean activist and protest singer. I guess we'll see here. Yeah, Stop the Violence Movement, Self-Destruction. So this is basically a hip hop, I guess, supergroup that's similar to like We Are the World with rappers, and it was designed to kind of protest violence within Black communities. So yeah, it's very star-studded. Like I even mentioned, it's like KRS-One, a Boogie Down Productions, and then yeah, the MC Light, and basically a number of different socially conscious rappers. K86, System of a Down, BYOB. So basically, it's a take on Bring Your Own Booze, but it's basically Bring Your Own Bombs. So it's basically kind of like a satirical party song about destruction. And it was basically writing in protest of the war in like Afghanistan and Iraq. But yeah, System of a Down has a number of songs that would qualify for this list. And I believe I had this on my, like I said, I made a video of the top 10 protest songs of the 2000. So I believe it made that list. So 85, Fugazi Merchandise. Yes, I think Fugazi, it's hard to pick one Fugazi song. And I'm not even sure there's a specific Fugazi song I'd put on my top 100. But as far as important protest artists go, they do deserve acknowledgement. Like they're very important. And they're also important, like with the straight edge movement. And they're very important even with their anti-corporate view. Like they basically shunned basically decisions that they made, even though they still achieved a certain level of commercial success. They did it without doing the typical corporate games. So they were a very anti-commercial band, but were fairly successful despite that. For 84, Dead Prez, They Schools. Yeah, most of Dead Prez songs will qualify as protest tunes. I have a tough time picking just one, but yeah, it's good that they get some acknowledgement. Girls like Tracy Chapman, yeah, talking about revolution. Great song. I love the self-titled debut album that this song is off of. And I'm glad that, I mean, Tracy Chapman recently has been starting to get some recognition and attention because of Luke Combs' cover. Even though, I don't know, I'm kind of, I guess, don't have much of an opinion of the actual cover, but I think the positive is there's a bit of a renaissance happening with Tracy Chapman. And this is an excellent protest song. So what else do we got? Is that Fela Kuti? No, it's not Fela Kuti. Yeah, so it's Thomas Manfumo and the Acid Band. So off the top of my head, I'm not familiar with this song. So, but it looks like it might be Afro beats, which I do like a lot of Afro beats. Like I'm really into Fela Kuti, but I do need to do a deeper dive. So I'm going to acknowledge that there's some ignorance on my part as far as that genre goes. So Iron Maiden, One to the Hills, awesome song. I made a video about the 10 best heavy metal protest songs, and I also on my website made a list of 100 heavy metal protest songs. But yeah, this I love this song. Powerful too. It's about indigenous rights. Like it talks about the slaughter of Native Americans. And yeah, it's a very powerful tune. There's also a really cool cover by the lead singer of Fucked Up and Tanya Tagaq. I think that's how you pronounce her name. She's a Canadian Indigenous folk singer. They do a powerful cover version of it. But yeah, we'll move on. Got Johnny Cash, The Ballad of Iowa Ace. Yeah, really good song. This is off I think the album's called Bitter Tears. They make a reference to the album. Yeah, Bitter Tears, the ballads of the American Indian. Really strong album that deals with indigenous issues. And it features a number of songs written by Peter LaForge. So this one's about Iowa Hayes, who was a real Native American who fought in the war. But basically, it's a sobering tale of how he was mistreated and neglected when he returned, which is a which is still timely. Like a lot of times, individuals like veterans, they deal with PTSD and the support's not always there for them. So we got the Isley Brothers Fight the Power, part one and two. Yeah, so this is cool. Basically, Chuck D based the Public Enemies Fight the Power on this song. So very timely, powerful, funky tune. Okay, The Coup. I wasn't necessarily anticipating them because they're not necessarily a mainstream act, but I'm glad to see that they have some representation on it. I'm not sure this would be the first song I would pick. But yeah, I'm okay with it. Boots Riley, a very left-leaning. You can almost say, I don't know if I describe him a full-blown anarchist, but he's definitely has some radical views. But yeah, this is a cool pick. Okay, 77, Charlie Garcia, which I believe is Brazilian. Um, I apologize. Okay, it looks like Argentinian. So I've heard of the name, but I haven't done a deeper dive. So we're gonna move on. Yeah, that's Against Me. Yeah, it's a great song. Transgender dystopia blues. Yeah, if I did mess up the pronunciation, I am sorry, because that's something that you don't necessarily want to mess up. Um, but yeah, this song was on my list of, I mean, like I said, I made videos of top 10 songs of different decades. So this was on my top 10 list of the top songs of the 2010s. So yeah, it's a very important song when dealing with gender identity issues that people may struggle with. So we'll scroll down a bit. Okay, United Artists Against Apartheid, Sun City. I do love this song. And this is a really cool benefit type tune because it wasn't an example of the fusion of like rap and rock. And there was a lot of notable rappers that were included on this tune. So yeah, you did have artists like Bruce Springsteen, but you also had a number of different rappers as well, such as like Run DMC and just be like a widespread eclectic mix of artists, which was cool. 73 4 OJ's Ship Ahoy. It wouldn't be the first song that I would think of, but yeah, I'm not mad at it. But yeah, there's other songs even by the OJs that I might have picked first. Like I mentioned, Love Train, which is a direct protest song, but socially conscious or For the Love of Money. So yeah, there are other songs that maybe I'd pick first, but yeah, I'm not mad at it. Helen Reddy, I Am a Woman. This song I'm mixed on because I don't particularly like this song, but I'm willing to acknowledge that it's an important woman's right anthem. So yeah, I don't have an issue for being on the list. 72, the Linda Lindas, Racist, Sexist Boy. And I do like this song. It's a great tune. And I think it's like really cool. You get some young females starting like a punk band, and they're basically taking a stand against racist issues. Once again, I mentioned it before, it's sometimes hard to know how to rank newer protest songs because they haven't established a legacy yet. And I'm not sure this would be on my top 100 protest songs. But yeah, it's a good song. I don't have an issue with it. So let's scroll down. Kill Mike Reagan, awesome song. This was on my list of the 2010 or the best protest songs of the 2010s. I wasn't necessarily predicting that this would be on this list, but like I said, it's a powerful protest tune. And it also talks about it's just not criticizing like Ronald Reagan policies like Reaganomics, but it's also talking about how Ronald Reagan was basically a pawn of like a bigger issue, like there's a puppet master pulling strings. And it was also talking about the presidents that followed Reagan, like both Bush's and Clinton. Did I mention Obama? Yeah, I think this was after Obama was elected. Yeah. So basically, it talks about how the issues that took place in Reagan do continue to be issues. So let's just scroll down there. Yeah, so yeah, I don't want to butcher the name. I am a little bit familiar with this band. I vaguely remember watching a documentary, I believe, where they played Folsom Prison. Right. So let's see what we got next. Billy Bragg. There's Power in a Union, which is basically, I believe, okay, it's born the title from Joe Hill, so it's not an actual cover of the Joe Hill song. But yeah, Billy Bragg is basically, he has a lot of protest songs. So the fact that they picked one, I don't think is necessarily a huge surprise. And he's definitely a pro-union artist. Okay, Janelle Monáe. Yeah, so she actually has a few tunes that could qualify. Yeah, this tune here, I don't want to mess up the name, but it mentions basically different individuals, like Black people that were killed by individuals by gun violence and by police, and the whole thing was say their name. Um, so yeah, it's a powerful tune. Okay, Mecca Normal, I Walk Alone. I believe this is a Canadian group. I think they're somewhat influential in the riot grove movement. But I think this is an example of Rolling Stone trying to be a bit obscure. I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with that. Like if I made a list of like 500 protest songs to chart the evolution of protest music, maybe I'd throw this on there somewhere. But yeah, it's the top 100 songs of all time. Not entirely sure. But yeah, it's fine. Okay, Juno Mervin, Police and Thieves, great song. The Clash also have an awesome version of it. So I believe this is the first reggae tune on here. I'm suspecting there's going to be at least one Bob Marley song. I mean, there's tons to choose from. Like I'm hoping Redemption Song should be on there because to me that's one of the greatest protest songs of all time. But I can see there being two or three Bob Marley songs. Yeah, if I had to guess what reggae songs would make it, I wouldn't necessarily pick this one, but it's an excellent song, and The Clash did a great version. So let's see what we got. Yeah, Chris Christopherson. They killed him, 1986. So yeah, it talks about different individuals that were killed. So it talks about like Jesus and Gandhi, but it also talks about different activists like Martin Luther King, Bob Dylan did a cover of this as well. But yeah, it's a powerful tune. I don't know if I'd rank it as the top 100 protest songs, but yeah, that's fine. Okay, just got here on. Would it be the revolution will not be televised? This could also be Ready on the Moon. I'm assuming he probably only has one song. But I love the bottle as well. What do we got? Oh, Ready on the Moon. Okay. Maybe he has two, because I'd be surprised if the revolution will not be televised doesn't make it. But yeah, this is a powerful song that basically deals with, like, it deals with all the achievements. Yeah, you still have that racial inequity. So the fact that Whitey or white man was able to land on the moon, it really had nothing to do to help struggling Black communities. So yeah, it's definitely a provoking song. Okay, the specials, aka Free Nelson Mandela. Yeah, this is not a surprise. Like when I made my list of the top 10 protest songs of the 80s, this was on the list. Powerful tune and very catchy. So let's scroll down. Yeah, FDT. So I think we know what that means. Fuck Donald Trump. So yeah, there's a bit of a recency. I mean, 2016 is like 9 years now, and we're dealing with another Donald Trump presidency. So that probably renews the sentiment. I guess it'll be interesting to see what happens down the line. But yeah, it's a relevant protest song. Another tune I'm not familiar with. Trying to think of what language this is in. Yeah, it mentions the Arab Spring, so maybe Arabic. I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, it mentions. Yeah, so I think this would be some Islamic area. So it could even be an area where it's illegal to play like rock music, so that would be an act of protest. Um, so yeah, I do like the fact that it's not just included American songs that are in English, but sometimes it's tricky to rate a list when there are songs that are maybe outside of what my general field of knowledge is. And you don't always know if there's certain artists that are getting tossed on. I don't want to use the word tokenism, but sometimes when making the list, it's like, okay, I need to get one artist from this genre. So, but yeah, I don't necessarily, I'm not familiar enough to make any definitive statement. Okay, Corbin, I was born this way. So yeah, I can't lie, I'm actually not familiar with this song. Maybe I have to give it a listen. It looks like it's definitely some kind of gay pride tune. It also predates the Lady Gaga song. So yeah, we'll scroll down a bit more. Yeah, Tupac, featuring talent changes. Oops, I kind of went up a little bit. Let's scroll down again. Yeah, Tupac changes, which incorporates the Bruce Hornby tune, which is also a socially conscious tune. Um, Even though I wouldn't necessarily put Bruce Hornby on it. No, I'm not even sure this is the Tupac song that I would pick. Like I think I'd pick like Keep Your Head Up or Brenda Had a Baby. That they both have powerful social messages. But this is fine. I'm not necessarily mad at this song. So let's scroll up a bit. Okay, Country Joe and the Fish. Just the fish cheer. I feel like I'm fixing to die, rag. But yeah, this is a song that it's also notable because Country Joe performed this tune kind of solo acoustically at Woodstock. It was a definitive moment there, but definitely a powerful anti-war tune, maybe somewhat dated, but it's still, if you're charting the history of anti-war protest songs, I think it's an important document there. So we got song 57. It's by Nina 99 Luftballoons. So it's saying 83. So I guess that's when it was released as a single. But I was doing a 1984 deep dive, and the album it was off of was from 1984. So I included this song as the list of top 10 protest songs of 1984. So it's a catchy song, and I definitely prefer the German version over the English version. But yeah, it will express Cold War hysteria. And I gave more of an explanation of the background of the song in the video of the top 10 protest songs of 84. So 56, The Clash, The Guns of Brixton. And I love this song. But I love a lot of songs by The Clash. And most of the songs they did would be considered protest songs. So I'm assuming this is not going to be the only song by The Clash. I'm not even sure what would be the top Clash protest song. My absolute favorite is Straight to Hell, and that would be like a top 10 protest song for me. But they might have other songs that are considered more important or influential. But yeah, we'll definitely scroll down. Okay, Loretta Lynn, The Pill. Try to remember, did I include this? No, I don't think I did include the song in the list of 70s protest songs. But I did make a list on my website of songs about like reproductive rights. So yeah, this is a powerful and this was somewhat controversial protest song, especially among country music, because that's was that and still is somewhat of a conservative genre of music. So let's scroll a bit. K54, Peter Tosh, Legalize It. Possibly the best song written about legalizing marijuana. And Peter Tosh is sometimes overlooked a bit for his contributions to reggae music, partly because he was part of the Wailers and he was overshadowed by Bob Marley. But yeah, this is a great pro-legalization of marijuana protest song. K53, Beyonce featuring Kendrick Lamar, Freedom. I think I mentioned Formation as a possible song on the list. But yeah, this one as well. It's also off Lemonade. Maybe even this one more so. Um, so it'll be interesting to see if this is the only Beyonce song. Because she's not necessarily known as a protest artist per se, but she definitely delves into socially conscious songs quite a bit. And she even did recently a Cowboy Carter that has a couple of socially conscious songs on it. Okay, Victor Jawa. I already mentioned him that he might have at least one protest song on the list. So Manifestio, I might pronounce that a little bit wrong, but basically it means manifesto. But yeah, it's no surprise that he would have at least one song. Was it 70? This is 74, but this might have been released after his death because I believe he was murdered in 1973. But yeah, no surprise that he has at least one song on it. Okay. Dead Kennedys. Be interesting to see if this is the only one. This is probably the most direct. It's only, yeah, it says 63 seconds, so just a little over a minute. Nazi punks fuck off. But yeah, there's also like Holiday in Cambodia, which I'd possibly put on my list. And they have a number of others. Most of their songs were political. So yeah, I had no problem there. So number 50, Phil Oakes. Love Me, I'm a Liberal. I believe I had this list of my top 10 protest songs of the 60 video. Because I initially had an article of the 10 best songs, and I think initially I had this song, I Ain't Marching No More or Anymore. But then I think I replaced it with this song because this is brilliant satire that's still relevant. But yeah, Phil Oakes was a very influential satirist. So yeah, glad that he has at least one song on the list. K49, Peter Gabriel, Biko. Peter Gabriel has a few songs that would qualify as protest songs, but this is probably his most well known and most powerful. And I think I did include it in my list of 10 protest songs of the 80s. But yeah, powerful song. K48, Black Sabbath, War Pigs. Definitely one of the heaviest anti-war songs of all time. I did include it in my list of the top 10 heavy metal protest songs. So yeah, no issues there. Okay, KLS1, Sound of the Police. Pretty catchy song there about police brutality. Yeah, the whoop whoop, that's pretty catchy. I think it's whoop whoop, that's the sound of the police. Yeah, it's kind of catchy tune and a powerful anti-police protest. Okay, I mentioned Fela Kuti. I thought he would have at least one song on here. And if I had to guess, Zombie would probably be the first one I mentioned. So that's not a surprise. Let's see if that's his only one or not. But yeah, Fela Kuti is one of the most important political artists of all time, and obviously very important in the founding of like Afro beats. Okay, 45, Bonsky Beats, Small Town Boy. Heard the song before, but I guess I haven't listened to the lyrics deeply because I've never directly associated with a protest song. Okay, it looks like it has to deal with LGBTQ plus themes. But yeah, I haven't really paid much attention to the lyrics, so we'll just move on. Okay, 44, The Equals, Police on My Back. Excellent song. And they were considered pretty important band because it was like 1967 and they were racially integrated, which was still somewhat of a new concept. But yeah, this is an awesome song. The Clash also covered it. But yeah, and Eddie Grant was in this band as well. So he became known a bit more prominently in the 80s, like Electric Avenue was a pretty important song, a well-known song at least. Okay, 43, The Temptations, Ball of Confusion. That's what the word is today. So that was 1970. And this was still at the time where Motown acts, they kind of had to fight a bit to try to record protest songs because Berry Gordy wasn't a big fan of them. I think this song was, even though it was an anti-Vietnam protest song, it wasn't as direct as songs such as War or even some of the tunes on What's Going On. So I think the song was at least broad enough, or not broad, um, I not generic, I don't know the exact words, but the song wasn't as directly political as some of the other songs, but it was definitely timely and it resonated with what was going on during that time period. Okay, what do you got for me? Doesn't surprise me. There's at least one. I'm assuming This Land Is Your Land would be on here. Would surprise me if it isn't. But yeah, Woody Guthrie, All You Fastest Bound to Lose. He was definitely one of the pioneers of political folk music. Okay, 41. Sly Johnson, Is It Because I'm Black from 1969. Yeah, I've heard this song before. It's not one that would immediately pop in my mind, but yeah, it's a political blues song. No issues with it being on there. Okay, 40, Mary Clayton, Southern Man. Yes, it's the cover of Neil Young. Don't have an issue with it, even though I'm surprised it's number 40. I'm not sure if I would rank it on my top 100. And Mary Clayton's also a powerful vocalist. She did the vocals on Gimme Shelter, which is probably the last background vocal performances ever. Yeah, it is a great cover. What we got now? Okay, 39. Not really familiar with the song, and I'm not going to butcher the names here. So yeah, it sounds like this is a Cuban tune, and it's fairly recent. But like I said, I'm happy that they're represented in different cultures. I sometimes, like I said, have questions about how you rank recent tunes. So ranking a song from 2021 is 39. I'm not entirely sure. But without actually listening to the song, I can't really say too much. Okay, 38. Oh yeah, Buffalo Springfield, for what it's worth. No issues there. It's one of the more well-known socially conscious songs of the 60s. So yeah, no issues with it being there. Okay, 37, Her, I Can't Breathe. So that was basically during the Black Lives Matters protest. I do remember the song, powerful tune. I featured it on my website. There's still the recency thing. Like, I'm not sure if I put a song from 2020 at 37, but I don't want to get too caught up on rankings. But yeah, it's a powerful protest song. 36, MDC, which there's different interpretations of what the MDC stand for, but one is A Million Dead Cops. So this is Born to Die from 1982. Um, yeah, I don't know if it's the first song from them that I would think of. But yeah, I don't necessarily have a problem that they have a song on here. I think the one I'd probably think of is the song John Wayne's a Nazi. So I'd probably even put that on if I was to put a song in my top 100, I'd probably pick that one by MDC. Okay, 35, The Wailers, Get Up, Stand Up. That doesn't surprise me. I mentioned that there would be at least some Bob Marley on here. And this is one that doesn't surprise me is on there. Hopefully Redemption Song's on there because that would be my contender for the greatest protest song of all time. So we'll scroll down a bit. Okay, 34, Little Baby, The Bigger Picture. This is another song that resonated during the Black Lives Matter movement. It is a powerful song, but once again, the whole recency bias thing, like where would this rank if you did this list 20 years from now? And that's the thing. A lot of people, sometimes when people think of protest music, they still associate it with the 60s and maybe even the 70s. But even recently, like I remember during the pandemic during 2020, there was a definite spike in the protest songs being released. And sometimes that got overlooked a bit. So 33, Joni Mitchell, Big Yellow Taxi. I like the song. It's not my favorite Joni Mitchell song and not my favorite protest song by her, but it's probably the most well-known protest song. And it did deal with environmental issues. So yeah, I'm not mad at it. Okay, Tom Robinson Band, Sing If You're Glad to Be Gay. This was considered one of the first gay anthems, and I believe it was a hit in the UK. So yeah, I don't know where I would rank it, but but that's fine. Okay, 31. You haven't done nothing by Stevie Wonder. Yeah, I really like the song when I did my 74 deep dive. This was my list of top 25 songs. So that's top 25 songs, period, not just protest songs of 1974. It is a powerful anti-Nixon tune. And because it actually doesn't name Nixon by name, it could basically apply to just about any US president and politician, or even universal. It could apply to just about the majority of politicians. Okay, U2, Sunday Bloody Sunday. Yeah, if I was to pick a U2 protest song, this is probably the one I would pick. I'm suspecting it'll be the only song, even though they have a few protest songs that might qualify. So yeah, I don't have an issue here. I believe it was on my list of top 10 protest songs of the 80s. Okay, 29, Bikini Kill, Feels Blind. That surprised me a bit because if I was going to put a Bikini Kill song on it, I'd probably put Riot Girl. Not Riot Girl. What's Rebel Girl? I'm getting confused. Rebel Girl and Riot Girl because they were pioneers of the Riot Girl movement. But yeah, Rebel Girl is the song I put on there. And I think I had Rebel Girl on my list of the top 10 songs in the 90s. So this is a bit of a surprise in pick. So let's scroll a bit. Okay, we got Bruce Springsteen, 41 Shots, American Skin. Yeah, it's a powerful song. It's one of those songs you get goosebumps listening to. So if I was to pick a Bruce Springsteen song for my top 100, it would either be this or The Ghost of Tom Joad, which I guess could still be on there. I'd be pleased if Born in the USA wasn't, because even though it's his most well-known protest song, I think it does lose its effectiveness as a protest song because it is misunderstood. And I think the cheesy 80s arrangement kind of waters down the message as well. So let's see what we got next. Okay, 27, Sex Pistols, God Save the Queen. When I made the video, the top 10 protest songs of the 70s, I was on my top 10 of the 70s. So yeah, I don't necessarily have a problem with that being there. Okay, 26. I knew there was going to be at least one Bob Dylan song. This wasn't the one I would guess. But yeah, it's a powerful song, The Lonesome Death of Hattie Cale. But yeah, he has a whole slew of songs from the 60s that can be on there. I'd be surprised if this is the only Bob Dylan song on here. So let's see. Okay. Green Day, American Idiot. To me, the top 25 seems to be overranked a bit. But I guess it's not a huge surprise. It'll be somewhere on the top 100. Okay, Edwin Star War. It's one of the most catchiest anti-war songs. Don't necessarily have an issue with it being on the list. Yeah, and I think it is worth a mention that the Temptations actually recorded the first version, but Berry Gordy didn't want the Temptations to release it as a single because he thought that that could affect them commercially. So he picked Edwin Starr because at that point, no one really knew who Edwin Starr was. The X-Ray Specs, so Bondage Up Yours. I believe I had this on my list of the top 10 protest songs of the 70s. And it is a powerful feminist rights empowering type song. I'm not sure where I would rank it on top 100, but 23 seems a little bit high, but I'm not mad at it. Okay, 22, Kendrick Lamar, All Right. This definitely was on my top 10 list of protest songs in the 2010s. So I know if I had this, I think I had this as number one. It was either this or This Is America by Childish Gambino. And based on some of the more recent songs on here, I'm thinking Childish Gambino, This Is America might be on here. just because there's some other more recent songs that all, and that song probably deserves it more. But yeah, it's a powerful protest song which became a popular chant at BLM rallies. Okay, 21, Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name. I already mentioned that. I actually thought it might be top 10. And this was definitely, I think I had this at number one on my list of top 10 protest songs of the 90s when I did that video. But yeah, powerful protest song. Okay, Phil Oaks, I Ain't Marching Anymore. Actually referenced this song earlier. Um, so yeah, this is the second Phil Oaks song. Sometimes he's overlooked a bit, but I'm glad he's not overlooked on this list. Okay, 19, Plastic Ono Band, Give Peace a Chance. So it looks like this is the first John Lennon. On my list of 70s protest song, I had Working Class Hero, which is my favorite John Lennon protest song, but it might not be as well known as Give Peace a Chance. And I could possibly see Imagine being on there, even though I'm kind of, yeah, I'm not super huge into Imagine. It's, but yeah, I'll move on. Like the song, at least it's a catchy chant. I can see why it's on here. K18, the Honey Drippers impeached the president. So yeah, a fairly direct protest song. So no issues there. And I believe it was sampled a lot in hip hop songs. Okay, 17. I mentioned there'd be more than one Bob Dylan song. Blowing in the Wind doesn't surprise me at all. That might be his most well-known protest song. It definitely became a standard. So yeah, I don't have an issue with it being there. It's also interesting, like Sam Cooke, when he wrote Change is Gonna Come, he was inspired by Blowing in the Wind. So that was kind of his response. Like if a right guy could articulate those feelings, he kind of almost felt guilty that as a black guy, he couldn't write a song like that. So I'd be surprised if a Change is Gonna Come is not on here. That's even, I think, a contender for number one. And maybe I'll do that now just to see. So like I said, I'm doing this live. I'll say Strange Fruit will probably be number one. Change is gonna come number two. I'll say What's Going On number three. Maybe Fight the Power number four. Maybe I should pick a number five. I almost do Killing the Name as number five, but that already appeared on there. What would I pick as number five? Say Mississippi Goddamn, but that might be a long shot. But I think there has to be at least one Nina Simone on there. So I'll go Mississippi Goddamn as number five. So we'll see if my prediction is right. So we got Grandmaster and the Furious Five, The Message. So this is one of the first socially conscious rap songs. Very important. I'm not sure if I put exactly at number 16, but I don't have an issue with it. Okay, what's going on? So I'm already wrong with my predictions for the top five. This is the first Marvin Gaye that appeared on here. I wonder if we're the only one. Like to me, out of all the songs on What's Going On, this would probably be the most well-known or significant. But he also has like Inner City Blues off the album. And he has like Mercy Mercy Me, which is important, ecological protest song. So maybe he has another song that sneaks in there. But yeah, it surprises me that that's only number 15. Okay, 14, Just Got Here On. I mentioned that I'd be surprised, like I mentioned, Ready on the Moon when it made it. Not really surprised, but I thought that this song was more well known than Ready on the Moon. So yeah, I don't have a problem with this being number 14. And it's an important proto rap song. Like it's definitely part of the evolutionary chain of socially conscious rap songs. Okay, 13, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Fortunate Son. This didn't make my list of top 10 protest songs of the 60s when I did that video. So yeah, definitely powerful protest song. I don't have a big issue with that being there. Okay, another Bob Marley. Okay, then Belly Full, But We Hungry. So when I did my top five predictions, did I put Redemption Song on there? Don't think I did. So let's do that again. So what's going on is not going to be on the top five. So I'm still going to stick with Strange Fruit as number one. Change is going to come as number two. No longer what's going on because that's it bomb. So we'll put Redemption Song as number three. Fight the Power is number four. I think I might have missed something I said before. So I'll keep Mississippi Goddamn as number five. And then if I miss something, oops, that's what happens when you're doing a live thing here. But yeah, Bob Marley, The Belly Full, But We're Hungry it's an excellent song. When I did my 1974 deep dive, I had this song as my list of top 25 songs of 1974. So I don't have a problem with this tune being on the list. Okay, Woody Guthrie, This Land's Your Lane. I actually mentioned it earlier, Dad. I'd be surprised if this wasn't on the list. Um, so yeah, number 11. I was thinking maybe top 10 if I had to guess ahead of time, but no issue. Okay, number 10, NWA, Fuck the Police, one of the more direct protest songs. No issue there. Okay, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Ohio, the Kent State Massacre. Once again, no issue. One of the more well-known and timeless protest songs. Okay, number 8, Pete Seeger. Actually, I'm surprised. I definitely overlooked that when I was doing my top five predictions, even though I'm not sure it'd be top five, but it definitely needs to be on the top 10 because it's not even necessarily Pete Seeger's version of this song. It's that because this song actually predates, like it was, yeah, it mentions here 1900. Um, but I think it is a song that there's some debate over the actual origins. But Pete Seeger is the one that he started, like I think it was initially, yeah, I'll Overcome was the initial title. Overcome Someday. Okay, that's the initial version. Pete Seeger popularized the We Shall Overcome. So it's Pete Seeger that helped this song become a standard. Um, so yeah, it is definitely one of the most important protest songs of all time, even though I view it as more of a standard than one definitive version. Okay, 7, Nina Simone, Mississippi Goddamn. Like I said, I actually predicted as possible top five. I'm glad it's on here because that would be like if there wasn't at least one Nina Simone song, that would be like that'd be a major oversight. And I generally don't try to get worked up on these lists, but if this song wasn't on here, I probably would get a bit worked up. I mean, she has a few songs that qualifies, but this is all most politically direct. And this was on my list of the top 10 protest songs of the 60s when I did that video. Okay, another Bob Dylan song, Masters of War. Yeah, it's hard to get too worked up here because you could make a list of like top 10 Bob Dylan protest songs. Like he has multiple songs. Like you could take his top 10 protest songs, stick them in a hat, and then just draw them. And any of those top 10 could be somewhere on this list. So yeah, it's a powerful song. I don't have a huge issue. Okay, James Brown, Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud. Yeah, powerful Black empowerment song. It was on my list of top 10 protest songs of the 60s. So yeah, I don't necessarily, not sure I would make it as number five, but I don't have an issue of it being on there. Aretha Franklin, Respect, powerful female empowerment song, was also on my list of top 10 protest songs of the 60s. I'm not sure I'd rank it as number four, but like I said, a powerful female empowerment tune. So we got number three. Okay, Billie Holiday, Strange Fruit. I don't want to get too hung up on that because number three is still saying it's one of the most important, powerful songs of all time. But yeah, I think this should be number one. Um, so what hasn't been said yet? Okay, I said Fight the Power by Public Enemy and a Change is Gonna Come. So I would say those would be one and two. If either of those songs are not on the list, then yeah, that's gonna be shocking. And I don't think there was any Public Enemy songs on there. Might have to go back. So yeah, I'm actually surprised that there'll be no Public Enemy songs. But yeah, Fight the Power. I'll say Fight the Power number two, A Change is Gonna Come is number one. But you could possibly interchange that. Okay, Fight the Power, Public Enemy. Definitely probably the most important political rap song of all time. No issue there. It was actually written for Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. So it's one of the best songs ever written for a movie. So yeah, no issue. And I already said it was based on the Isley Brothers Fight the Power. And I was glad to see the Isley Brothers version get acknowledged. Okay, number one, Change is Gonna Come by Sam Cooke. So yeah, I was a bit surprised that Strange Fruit wasn't number one. But I guess I can't argue with this too much because Change is Gonna Come is one of the best and most important songs ever. And I already mentioned that this was Sam Cooke's response to Blowing in the Wind. That helped inspire him. But yeah, it's one of those songs that it's hard to listen to without getting goosebumps. So yeah, that's the list. The 100 protest songs based based on Rolling Stone opinion. So I'm trying to think of what I would consider oversights on the list. Um, how many Clash songs were on there? I guess there was one, Guns of Brixton. I thought there might be more than one Clash, and that would necessarily be my first pick. Um, what else would I put on the list that didn't make it? Usually I do these response videos. What happens? I think of other songs as soon as I stop the recording, and that's probably going to happen here as well. But yeah, only one song by The Clash surprises me a little bit. I'm trying to think of what else would make my list. Maybe Walking in the Free World by Neil Young. That might be a bit of a surprise. Um, only one John Lennon, but I guess that's not necessarily super huge surprise. What else would I put on here? There was the one Dead Kennedys, but that wasn't the one I would include. I'd probably put Holiday in Cambodia. Oh, and Redemption Song, yeah. Redemption Song by Bob Marley. I was happy that there was two Bob Marley songs, but I'm not, yeah, I think that's an oversight not to include Redemption Song on it. What else? No Joan Baez, and she was an important artist. But I could sort of understand that because I don't know if that one definitive song that she's associated with. If anything, she's connected to some well-known songs that were recorded. Like she's done a song of, like she's recorded We Shall Overcome, and she did that on the, I believe, the March on Washington Square. Don't quote me, but I think so. And she did a version of like Oh Freedom. Well, in connection with that Odetta, there's no Odetta on here. So that might be a bit of an oversight. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. Like I said, I'm gonna think of some more songs after the fact. But yeah, that's the list. So what do you think of the list? Feel free to protest the list in your comments. Let me know what are your favorite protest songs. So if you want me to continue making videos, please like and subscribe. And you can also, for more protest music related content, you can check out my website, Ongoing History of ProtestSongs.com. So thanks for watching, and please stay safe.